Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime. You can see him there in front of his box. We'll go ahead and put him offside real quick. And yep, look, I said box. And once again, it is an example of the new Studio Series box. You can see, you know, all the things like 21 steps in the window. Plastic windows are back. You got the nice bit of artwork of Optimus in both robot mode and vehicle mode. You got the Transformers Studio Series and Devastation logo right there on Optimus Prime. On the top, you have Devastation Optimus Prime. On the side, you have again the robot mode artwork right there, and Optimus Prime and Transformers Devastation. On the side, you have the Autobot symbol and Studio Series Deluxe class. And this bottom here, you have what's included in some manufacturing details, and on the back, you have some copyrights and warnings and some product shots, including some stuff of like what's included and whatnot. And a little screen cap from the game up here, if you can see that. Yeah, a little screen cap from the game up there, and it says Optimus Prime stops the Decepticons from turning Earth into a new Cybertron. And of course, included in the box is his instructions, which are pretty straightforward because he's not a particularly difficult figure because he's got some clever bits, but yeah, he's deluxe. So yeah, you got the new instruction style there. So, Devastation Prime. He is a deluxe. He is the second A-level figure being released this year in Studio Series. The other one, of course, being the B127 I just reviewed. Getting in close. You can see. He's actually I think robot mode overall is pretty nice looking. He's kind of got this whole very flat and well cell shaded look, which was kind of what they went for with the Devastation game. Of course, he's got his face right there, got his blue eyes, his mask, and everything. The only thing is I would kind of complain about right there is the blue right there, kind of chilling out right there, but it kind of doesn't. Yeah, there's a lot of blue, like a bit of blue right there under at the top of the face mask. Unfortunately, you got the cool faux reflection on the windshield and everything. You got the Autobot symbol. The smokestacks and everything, kind of this weird creamy white plastic right there. You got the gray stripes and everything. This is also that white strap, the white plastic instead of the gray. You got some yellow right here as well. You got a bit of blue. You got the white, and of course the blue legs and everything. Tires sticking out slightly right there, but of course you got these faux gas tanks right there and everything. And he's got a bit of a, I guess, butt pack right there, but it's not too egregious. It kind of folds it pretty well, and even got the little simulation of his normal backpack thing going on right there as well. So I actually think the robot mode here, I think a lot of people are getting a little harsh on the release on the robot mode, because I think the robot mode actually looks really good as a whole. Actually, I genuinely like the robot mode. I know a lot of people are not really happy with it, but I think the robot mode works. It's just, my only complaint is, yeah, I kind of wish there was a way for this to tuck in some way better, maybe more like the Earthrise version where the wheels are more against the butt, and so it's less hindered for articulation, but it's not bad in general. Yeah, he's got obviously some hollow bits, but again, it's a deluxe and it has to be an Optimus, so yeah, I think it works pretty good, and I think it looks really good. I genuinely think it looks really good. One thing I also want to note is also the smokestacks are separate in the box, and there's kind of a peg and a tab because, they're right there for that stuff. Theoretically, I guess you could use these as a gun or something, except for the fact that, well, the pegs are so small that he's not going to be able to hold it. Maybe for a Legends class figure, but yeah. So there's that. But as for articulation, his head can look left and right, and I guess there's a little bit of wiggle, but not a whole lot, because it can kind of look up and down a little bit, but again, not a whole lot. Arms can do a full 360. Right there, you got outward right there. It kind of does that sort of shoulder, that shoulder hinge right there, so that's going to be upsetting to people. There's a backwards butterfly, which can be helpful for some things, and also because of it, how it transforms, it can butterfly forward slightly. So you got a little bit of butterfly there. You do have a bicep swivel right there, 90 degrees of elbow right there. The wrists can't swivel, but they can go in and out. I guess move this side to side if you need that for any reason. There's a waist swivel, but again, the wheels can get a little away, but they do kind of, you can see they just kind of push themselves out of the way really easily. So, you go this far, it's like, oh no, that's it. And you get a little bit more. You can't really go any further than that, but I think, for most part, that's actually a decent amount of articulation for most poses. And right here at the hips, you do have forward that far, you have back that far, thanks to the wheels. There, outward, you do have full range right there. You do have a knee swivel, not a thigh swivel, so it's below the knee right here. There's no swivel up here. You do have a knee joint of about 90 degrees, and down here at the feet, you do have, pretty much a good amount of ankle tilts. You do have the toes can go down, and the heel can go down as well if you ever need that. So yeah, that's the articulation. Oh, one other thing I also want to mention is, yeah, unfortunately, I wish the tabs on here were a little longer. The tabs on here are very shallow, so it doesn't take much to misalign the chest a bit, but It's not the end of the world, personally. It's just a little bit of an annoyance where sometimes I'll go, oh, it's in misaligned, I have to push these in again, and it'll be fine. But, yeah, I think he actually looks good. I genuinely like the look of this figure, at least in robot mode. But yeah, he's got a couple accessories. Namely, one is you can open up the chest panel here, and hey, surprise, he has, in fact, got a matrix. You can open up these right here. And yeah, it's plain and unpainted, and it's very difficult for me to get it out of here. I cannot get my fingers in there. I always have to use a spudger. I cannot get my fingers in there to get it out to save my life, so I have to kind of use a spudger to launch it, apparently. But you can see it's unpainted, unfortunately. And then on the back, there's pretty much no real detail because, yeah, it's supposed to pay again. Cool thing is, though, these little tabs on the sides. There are little. You can see there's little slots in the hands, so he can. And this is where the kind of the forward butterflies and the elbow joints can help a little bit, which is get those all lined up. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. So you can hold the matrix. It's just a bit of a nuisance. You can hold the matrix kind of like that. That's a cool idea. Kind of maybe could have done. Articulation, unfortunately, is the part that fights you a bit because, yeah, there's articulation there forward, but like it doesn't work super well. But yeah, by the way, if you're get yours and goes, "Where's my matrix?" It's not there. It's on the accessory bag. It comes with a package in the chest. So just open up the chest. It should be there. Just be aware of that. It's not in the accessory bag. So yeah, don't freak out thinking that it's missing. And his other accessory, of course, is the axe, which he used a lot in the game, not instead of the gun, but they did the thing where they kind of added this weird whooshing effect, and there's a tab there for storage reasons, and it's just painted. It's a red piece of plastic painted yellow, golden yellow. You can plug that into either one of his hands. His axe, I'm not really a fan of the axe, unfortunately, because, like, well, it's a permanent, like, whooshing effect, so I'm not really a huge fan of it. I feel like it doesn't work very well as a whole, personally. You might want to get a different axe form if you're going to do this. Yeah, I guess it makes sense if you're like trying to take certain pictures or whatever, like, you know, if you take a certain picture or whatever, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not a particularly good weapon. So, yeah, and as far as I can tell, there's no real place to store it in robot mode either, so it's like if you don't want to use it, you're kind of just all tough. Yeah, that doesn't work, those slots are too... I thought there would maybe be a slot. I mean, you can do that. It does kind of slot into there. I guess there is a place to store it. Never mind. Forgot about that. Yeah, they kind of slots in there. I just didn't think because those are kind of odd looking slots. But you can put it on his back. But yeah, it's just unfortunately, it's just a simple case of that. It's like trying something new. They said as such. They're trying something new, but I don't think it worked personally. Either that needs to be like a different color, like something like to sell it better or something, whatever it is. I saw someone resorted to cutting that off, which is a little extreme. I'm probably not going to do that personally, but I can understand the sentiment. So it's not my favorite accessory. But I feel like the robot itself, though, looks really good. So some comparisons, real quick. Just because here's the recent, you know, G1 Optimus. G1 Universe Optimus, you know, give me an idea there. You know, he's shorter. We got, you know, it's kind of also deluxe Optimus, and I was actually kind of curious. A couple things here. One, I was actually curious about this axe. It just occurred to me, should work just fine. Yeah, barely. It kind of hooks onto the edge of his forearm, but it does work somewhat. So if you want him to have a different axe, you can kind of futz it a little bit. You might have to modify if you want it to fully plug in, but you know, that's one option. And also if you want to give him a rifle, hey look, remember this one comes with two, so you know, you can give him a rifle if you want. You can have a rifle, and hey look, it actually looks really good. Works really well. So you know, there's that. So if you just an FYI, if you want to give him a gun, he's 5mm, so you know, and this one is scaled correctly for deluxe, so just an FYI. But yeah, just give you an idea, you know, like deluxe Optimus wise. Again, that keeps coming untapped, but yeah. Is that? And of course, here he is with the Studio Series 86 Optimus, who's, you know, surprise, significantly taller, because, well, yeah, Deluxe versus Commander. There's that. and because I keep saying this comparison, because it's an older deluxe Optimus, but one that people are probably somewhat aware of, and kind of gets drew a lot of same negativity. Here's the old classics deluxe Optimus, the one that came in that 2-pack with Megatron. Sometimes came with a DVD. Yeah, people are kind of comparing it, and sometimes comparing it as if this is a better one. Having both, I disagree. This is a better figure, at least in robot mode, and well, actually in alt mode, I would argue it's slightly better, but man, also mine's super loose. But yeah, this is a better figure. A lot of people have been trying to compare it to this because as a joke, kind of in a mocking way, because, you know, oh, they're both crappy Optimus Deluxes, but yeah, this is actually, it feels like a good figure and feels solid compared to this thing. This thing feels flimsy as heck, but yeah. So yeah, that's Devastation Optimus. I think the Robo Mode is great. I also think the transformation is great. So yeah, to talk about that, first thing you want to do here is take these wheels back here and kind of move them around and just get them. You also have to move the bumper up a little bit so you can actually tab the wheels in right there like that. So they kind of sits right there for now. Then you want to take the head here. You want to bring it up and bring this part in. This plate will go in as well. Bring the head up. Partway through, you want to rotate it around and rotate it the rest of the way, and then also make sure to bring this up so this platform is now level with the rest of the chest. So there you go. Then we'll move the arms out of the way so then you can rotate the waist 180, and then take these and untab those and bring them back like this, and bring the grill forward like so. Well, slightly forward. It's gonna, yeah, bring the grill forward like that. Now, down here at the legs, what you want to do is you want to take these, make sure that the ankles are fully in like that, you know, fully straightened out. Then collapse the toes and heels like that, and like that. And then down here, what you want to do is untab the fuel tank, bring it up right there. Just get it out of the way, bring it up. And right here, this little round bit on the inside of the leg, you want to untab that and bring that out like so. And like so, bring this out like that. You want to take this bit right here, you want to spin this around right there, and spin that around right there like that. And then you bring the legs up like this, and then you tab them together, tab the legs together, and then right here you see there's little tabs right here at the top of the legs, and you bring these parts over top, and there's a little slot at the bottom of the waist piece, and you bring that over like that, and that, and that'll kind of lock it in so that the waist doesn't spin while it's in truck mode. Right, and then right here you can also bring the bumper down finally. Like that, so it's all straightened out. Then here at the arms, of course, you're going to bring the, bend the elbow and rotate the hand in like so. Then you rotate the arm back and it'll tab in right here on the head platform. And you bring this forward, and you might have to hold in place because it's going to want to untab itself while you bring it forward. I'm going to bring this forward and kind of lift it up a bit. It's going to go into this. Yeah, see there's a tab on the bottom of the arm, which is going to go into a little slot on the bumper. Make sure that clears and everything. That. And the same thing on this side. Bend the elbow, rotate the fist in. Bring this back right here. Tab it into the head platform right there and bring this forward. Like that. Bring it in. Make sure I'll clear all the tabs clear and everything, like that, and then finally take the gas tanks and they'll tab into the sides of the legs. And there you go. That is Devastation Mode Optimus in his vehicle mode. And yeah, once you're, yeah, I mean the transformation, like I said, the transformation itself is actually pretty fun until you realize you're kind of done, and then you go, oh. Yeah, the truck mode I personally find to be lacking. You can see the thighs just right there. The what's supposed to be the fuel tanks is really hollow and doesn't look good. You got this whole thing back here. This is the front end. It's kind of got gaps and everything. Those wheels are too far forward. It's just there's a lot about it which is like, I'm a little disappointed by, honestly. It just. You get to this point where it's like, one big thing I really wish would fix it, I think would fix it, is just if somehow the thighs could retract or something, but there's like no room because how it transforms. One of those things, I get it, physics is a thing, but man, there's just some stuff about this which I wish could have been done better. I'm just sitting here kind of disappointed about a lot of it. I mean, also the head's just kind of right there too, but you know, that doesn't bother me as much. But it's just, you get to, when you realize you're done and that you've fully transformed it, the vehicle mode just is lacking in a couple ways. I mean, it rolls, at least. That's something. It's got pinned wheels, but yeah, it's just kind of, there's a lot about it that's just kind of lacking, and I just wish there was something could be done, but I'm just blanking as what you could do, because they filled out the space for the robot mode pretty well. It's just the vehicle mode's just kind of You got some molded taillights back there. You got the, you know, headlights picked out with, you know, at least picked out with white paint, and you know, they're molded and everything. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot about this which is kind of lacking. And you can see there's also that slot right there, and that's for the axe. You can actually just tab in the axe right here, and that will store it away, which, that's something. Also, these don't lock in super well. They don't really lock in at all, actually. I wish they locked in. So, because otherwise it's like, whoop, there it goes. So, I don't know. Yeah. Gonna remove this axe real quick, because I want to cut, for the sake of, like, I guess the comparison bit, because, yeah, comparisons, you know, here, again, here's the, you know, the recent Legacy G1 Optimus. Yeah, truck mode size is actually pretty similar overall. This is actually slightly a bit bulkier overall, but yeah. But you can also see, yeah, the rear is a little bit longer on the Devastation one. So there's that. Here's Studio Series 86 Optimus. Again, obviously significantly larger, just because. But yeah, it's kind of obvious there, and a generally just way better truck. But also, $25 versus $90. Yeah, here's that Classics one, which I can't even, this doesn't even lock in. I think this is supposed to lock in, but that doesn't even lock in anymore. Regardless, wow. This is, I'm kind of disappointed in this, but this is so much worse. Holy crap, I forgot how bad it was until I transformed it. Yeah, wow. Wow. As far as I remember, this is the transformation. This does not collapse or anything, even though I could have, part of me swore now it did, but apparently it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't, mine doesn't even lock in properly anymore. So yep, it's woof. So it could be worse. Could be worse. Now, one other thing is I want to address is, of course, possible trailer compatibility. Here's the Earthrise trailer. Size-wise, it fits, but yeah, this peg is, you can see it's wiggly. It works, but it's kind of wiggly, but it does work. Just size-wise, you know, and everything, and you know, size-wise, compatibility, it does more or less work. It's just kind of a little loose in there, but it works. Works pretty well. So that. As for the Studio Series 86 version, again, the peg will work, but the trailer is massive. You can see that. Something on the trailer. Yeah, the trailer is massive compared to the truck, so yeah, it doesn't really work in that regard. So size-wise, it doesn't work. Compatibility, yes. It's technically compatible, but doesn't look particularly good. It looks a little goofy. That didn't occur to me till, yeah, just before I reviewed this, but I'm just wondering, I saw how big this thing, so I was wondering if it works with the G1 version. I don't think it does. No, it does not. It's too big for that. It doesn't work with that. Yeah, it doesn't work with the yeah. You see that? It doesn't really work. You can balance it on there, kind of. But you can see also it's too tall for it, so yeah, it doesn't really work with that. But yeah, so it doesn't work with the G1 trailer. So yeah, that's Devastation Optimus. Great robot in my opinion. A great looking robot. Got a decent amount of posability. The transformation is actually pretty fun. The problem is you get to the end and you have this kind of disappointing alt mode. I won't say outright bad. They did get a lot right, and that considering, you know, what it's doing, there's something impressive about it, but it's just disappointing in a couple of ways, and I kind of wish that they did something. They were able to do something about it, but I also understand why they couldn't. So that's the most frustrating thing. The weapon. The weapon's not particularly great, in my opinion. Again, they tried something new, didn't work. Hopefully, they don't do it again. Hopefully, they learn, don't do that again. You know, I know, you know, respect for the trying something new with that, but I don't think it worked. Yeah, it's just kind of a weird mixed bag in that sense. Like, yeah, half of it, it's just one half of it, namely the vehicle mode, not particularly good. The other half, robot, I think is great. I think it's really good looking and it's posable and it works really well. It's just Yep, you just got that fun thing. So it's like, is it worth the $25? I don't know. But you have plenty of time to figure it out. It's an A-level figure, which means it should be in stock pretty much for the rest of the calendar year, if not longer. You just got to find it, you know. They are starting to hit stores. When I found this at Walmart, there are 6 of these things on the shelf. So not going to be hard to find. And heck, even if you hem and haw over for the next few months, it still won't be hard to find. It's going to be pretty easy to find regardless, so you have plenty of time to think about it. And heck, even if you're really, heck, you might even be able to get it for dirt cheap again right now. Like, for example, right now, of course, at this point, I think actually when this video comes out, Target's running a 30% off Transformers thing, so you might be able to get it cheaper than $25, in which case, yeah, it might be worth it. But yeah, at full price, it's kind of harder to justify just because one of the vehicle mode is just kind of disappointing. So there you go. Robo mode better than expected, but vehicle mode kind of crap. Well, I don't want to say outright crap, but yeah, it's just disappointing at the very least. So make of that what you will. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social medias down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee, my Patreon, and I'll see you next time with another video review.